person came in to NAACP.
Can you?
I can't bring it down, baby.
You do realize you got high blood pressure. I mean,
tell the world.
You know, it's like you're gonna have high blood pressure in a second because. Man, if they had this on television, they could really see you.
Whatever.
Relax. Calm down. What did that thing say? Nomiko, Ramiko, something? Calm down. I'm just saying it. Everybody know I'm religious, but relax on the fact. But how she does, what they say is about two wrongs don't make a right. Mm-hmm. She lied about being black. Okay. Now, a lot of us are saying, wow, somebody wanted to be black.
Exactly.
I mean, let's just say what it is. Wow, there's a white person who wants to be black?
Right.
Wow. I mean,
what is wrong with her?
No, but I'm just saying, look at the way it is. You trying to be a little bit,
the way it is. What is
no,
wrong with her?
It's nothing wrong with her. As far as it's a shame to want to be black. If she wants to identify with that, then okay, but why? So we have to look at the mental capacity of why a person of any race wants to walk away from who they are to identify with someone else. I don't know. Was she identifying with the struggle and that made it easier for her? Go ahead.
And it could be just like you say, the transgender thing, that on the inside she truly.
Transracial.
Transgender.
The transgender thing I'm saying.
Oh,
that
just
inside
like the
she
transgender
truly
thing, yeah.
feels like a black woman. And I can get that because there are so many people out here who, like you say, white people with the cornrows and the way they talk, that disturbs me. The way they talk. Yes, it does. The way they talk, or when a black person speaks, as people say, talks white. But again, when we did it, or when people passed as other races, no one seems to be as upset. Now, the problem I do have with that...
Maybe they got killed when they was found out.
But the problem I have with that is the fact that she goes through the whole makeup thing and the wig thing and everything. But let me read you a comment too. Your girl's back on the Facebook, and she's saying that she says my issue isn't how she feels about blacks or her wanting to help blacks. It's the fact that she lied. I feel like some blacks would have respected her so much more if she would have just been upfront about being white, even if she really does think she's black. And while her being white, there may have been a chance of her getting a little further with what she was trying to do.
Now, you know what, though? I almost felt for Rachel. The more I got into looking at some of the videos and the interviews and reading her backstory, because I love a backstory, because the backstory always told the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Now, her backstory has a closet full of skeletons and lies.
Yeah.
But the thing to get me with Rachel, you a bold sister to be a better black woman than most black women, as you stated yourself. But the thing with her,
I got a problem with that.
when she was younger, she said she wasn't accepted as who she was. She didn't feel comfortable in her own skin, and a lot of her peers, which were her Caucasian people, didn't like her. So she identified with who liked her, which was the black people. So, yeah, I get that. But you don't have to lie about who you are.
Well, everyone wants to be accepted.
But you don't have to lie about who you are as a race.
You should not have to lie. But then you look at also at her backstory with the black brothers that she has, and the black husband and the black children. So she probably does feel more black than white because, like, again, I have to go back to the fact that when people marry into a white family and they raise their children white, because I know people like that, and those children have no black identity because...
Well, shame on them.
Yeah, I agree, but it's readily accepted, and it's more accepted when those children look white because they're more passable.
But you know what? Babe, you could jump in anytime.
If we could, because this show didn't change to the Brenda McCain show.
Well, usually we don't go so
you
much.
just jumped into so much. Obviously, you do. Part 2 is coming next week with Brenda Shabazz and her thoughts. I think one of the things that is happening here is that what happens in all scenarios when you have discussions, people get emotional, and you allow the emotions to be able to dictate how you feel about things. Rachel is not the first person who's lied about something to get a position. So that's if resumes could speak, they'd be the first thing they'd be saying, lie. This is a lie.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's not the first person. I think that you can also say that the possibility that there was a fear factor that's saying that if she told the truth, she would be ousted by the people that she's trying to be more accepted by. And fear does play a very pivotal role on a lot of things that people do. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that I condone that she has done it. But we have to now look at the overall aspect of why she was doing what she did. Mentally, right. Why are you denying your race? Mentally, why do you want to be associated with another race? Well, that's something we need to. Now, we're looking at this in one aspect that we're totally missing. We're looking at it because she was trying to help African Americans, which is great. But the fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter that you were trying to help African Americans. It matters that there's some kind of a problem that has caused you to deny the foundation of who you are to be something totally different than what you were born to be. And we have that happening in Israel a lot, that the foundation or the principle of a person who they were born as being changed and is being more acceptable to allow that change to occur. So why do you all think, instead of just, maybe jumping on Rachel about changing and lying, let's look at some of the mental aspects of possibly why you think that she may have done that. Shabazz, do you have anything?
I just said it.
What?
That when she was younger, I'm going from the horse's mouth. I did not feel accepted by my peers, and those was her white peers. She was more accepted by African Americans, but yet and still, it reminds me of Dennis Rodman comes to mind. This is a great analogy. I was not accepted and liked by black women. That's why I pursued white women.
Well, I know
get
somebody who says that too.
Hey, and you know what? But there's been black women that said the same thing. I wasn't accepted by the black man, so I started dating a white man.
It's not that easy for a black woman to say,
well, nobody's talking about the validity of ease or difficulty. It's the fact that someone has changed so they can be accepted. And so when that happens, there is a reason for it. Like Tracy said, people want to be accepted in society. We can sit there and say we're not. I mean, there are people that don't like me. There are about 1,000 for everyone that doesn't like me that does. Now I can sit there and say if it was reversed, I wouldn't care. But if 1,000 people didn't like me, only one did. That's
me, boo boo.
That's you. You only got about one person that likes you.
No, that's me that like you.
She was the only person that likes you.
We got to start getting. Wait a minute, we got to start getting her to love me after 21 years of marriage. But I'm just saying, when you get into that thought process, everybody wants to be accepted, and so she felt that there was something that she wasn't being accepted. Now the show is called Let's Stay Together, so now we've got to come together on the process of why that she did this. Now, we can badger her, we can beat her, we can talk against her. What she did was wrong. But why do we do things that are wrong to be accepted?
Well, the only thing I was saying with this Mr. Ricardo is that when she almost had me when she was younger and had her issues. But when you say some crap about I'm a better black woman than a black woman, you lose validity with me.
Yeah, but you know what? There's black women have said that I'm a better black woman than a black woman.
But they're black.
So it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
That.
I know you are one, but see, that's the emotional attachment that we're doing again.
It's the
so
truth.
What? Because so what? Did some white woman say that she's a better black woman than black? So what?
No,
it is because what we're doing is that we're letting words.
Okay,
I'm gonna go back.
White man
I'm gonna go
say
back.
I'm a better brother than you are, brother.
And I'm gonna talk in a second, and you're gonna let me talk. The old word that says stick and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. People are going to give opinions all the time. The problem is that we rush to defend them or fight against them, and that's why we're having at odds with each other now.
Look at you trying to keep it on a straight point. I love
you know what I'm trying to keep it on? Because I'm a religious man, and I want to stay to the point that we've got to remove these stigmas that we have against each other. So what, she said that. You know how many people, I've said it once before, if someone tells me they can't stand me, I tell them thank you very much, because I remove the power that someone can have by saying words. If Rachel thought she was a better black woman than most black women, that's her thought process only. I'm quite sure every black woman in America disagreed with her. Yeah. But she has the right to say what she wants to say, wrong or right.
Chime in, Tracy.
I'm just waiting, because there are so many black people out here who want to straighten their hair, put on eye stuff, lighten their skin, talk like what we call white people.
That's international, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, since we're talking the black-white issue, and or have you heard those people that just don't answer the question or insist that there's something else in their background other than African American?
All of us have something in our background.
But I'm saying they don't deny it, or like if somebody say, "Oh, you look mixed," and they just go,
It's exactly what she did.
Well, exactly. So, is she wrong for not denying it, or did she literally come out and say, "Yeah, I'm black and I'm proud"? So. Assumption. Someone assumed once that my grandfather was a white man and didn't realize he was a black man until he showed up with his black wife and children. So was it his fault that they assumed that? Or should he have corrected them? I mean, I don't know whether he understood they assumed that or not. So,
or should he even given an audience to discuss it?
Exactly. Now, like you say, the fact that she misled people with the job and the hair and the makeup and stuff, yeah, that's a real big thing. And maybe, like you said, there's some issues in her background that made her act that way. But the fact is, obviously, she loves black people and the black society. And it's almost a compliment, even though, she wasn't right. But it's almost a compliment.
Yeah, and I can understand. I mean, one of the things that I like about this, even with, Brenda Shabazz over here,
Is Brenda Shabazz?
Brenda Shabazz. I mean, as opinionated as, it may be, it's the opinions of a lot of African-American women. And so she's basically saying what a lot of people are feeling and believing. So are you, and so am I. So what we're doing basically, on this show is expressing the opinions that the people are stating. There are a lot of African-American women that she lost when she said, I'm better than, I mean, you lost it. You lost a lot of African-American people and people in general when you start lying about things. Fear or nothing. I think the bottom line is that the course and the direction that she took, though it might have been genuine, caused more problems than it did benefits. And we've got to say that one thing about it is that when something causes more of a tragedy or negative than positive, then you need to change that. And one of the things that Rachel never did is just change it. Hey, I apologize. I am a white. But I identify with African Americans. It's all right to have that, but come out and say it, so people can go through the healing process, because the only thing you've actually done in this scenario is divide people, because what you've done was divisive in itself.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because someone said character is colorblind. Colorblind which is why she shouldn't have lied.
Right. She could have just said, I'm white and I want to help the NAACP.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the way. You know what? I have music that comes on.
I'm about to say,
and we've been doing this for like 3 years. So you hear that music? Hey, that's what I love about Jonathan. I tell you something. I'm going to have a show about women taking over the show. Hey, we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Good evening. The Let's Stay Together show presents Point of View by Donna Terrell.
The time I discovered my cable was out at 4 a.m. sent me into a tailspin. I'm on the phone yelling at the cable company because I had just gone through the same thing the previous week. They got it straight by 5:15 a.m. Then I was mad because the situation made me late for my workout, and because it was on a Monday, watching Monday Night Football was in peril. Everything was thrown off, and it took me a while to calm down.